What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We're going to try something a little different. As you can see, I'm doing a little speed build here. I'm going to be building the Mega Man X model kit. It's pretty cool. Stick around to the end so you see how it all comes together. But for now, it's just me opening up the packaging, getting everything kind of organized a little bit, and figuring out where I need to start. Alrighty, as you can see, I am still rearranging some stuff around. This does take quite a bit of the beginning here to get everything figured out to where you want it to go, and I'm starting to sort of get some stuff out now. Trying to find some of the pieces. You're going to see me doing a lot of stuff with the finding of them off camera, but I tried to put everything together as far as I could on camera, whether it's at like the bottom here or somewhere near more the middle, but that's the main goal. Anyway, so here we are. We're just assembling the helmet now. This is probably the most frustrating part of the entire build. You'll see why in a little bit. It comes down to his like little V-fins as a spoiler, but they don't want to stay in very well. And I ended up having to, after the video was done, I ended up gluing them in to keep them from falling out all the time. So yeah, here I am just getting more of that helmet put together. Probably going to be saying that a lot as I'm working through these pieces, because yeah, there's just a lot to them, especially when you get to like the arms, the legs, and the body. But even the head is pretty complicated in how it comes together, but it is really cool how it all gets together. So that's always really nice when everything finally comes together as a whole thing. Alrighty, as you can see, starting to put some of the more intricate parts of the head together now. In a few moments, you're going to see this head really come together and be basically done. What is also really cool, and you'll see in a little bit here, is there's multiple faces that you can put on Mega Man, which is pretty cool. I like that when you can swap out faces for different facial looks, and like you can have different like setups and whatnot if you had the other parts to make like a cool battle looking scene or something like that. Which would be really cool, but all I have right now is the Mega Man one. I do primarily like to build Gunpla and some Zoids. That's what I usually build. And I started picking up some of the Yu-Gi-Oh ones now. I have Exodia that I need to build, and I built the Millennium Puzzle a long time ago. But this head it's really cool. Just those little fins, man, they're a pain in the butt. Alright, so here we are. We are moving on to what I believe is the body. If I remember correctly, this is not too intricate. It's a lot easier to put the body, like the chest body part, together than the head, or the arms, or even the legs. Sometimes legs aren't too bad, but this one, it seemed like it was a little bit kind of crazy to put these ones together a little bit, just because of the way some of the things kind of go together, and there's some really weird little intricate pieces that's like, it looks like you should be able to cut something off, but then you don't want to cut that off, because if you do, it can't go together. But here we are building the inner part of the body and then sticking the chest together here. And then in a few moments, I believe we start putting the actual armor on as well, which ends up making it look really cool. I don't put it all together, I think, till near the very end of the video. I recorded this a little bit ago, and I'm trying to remember off the top of my head instead of just watching the whole thing first and then recording, because that would be the smart thing to do. But if you like my rambling, please let me know in the comments down below. If you wanted me to just be not talking and you want to just see this as just, the video, maybe with some music in the background, let me know in the comments down below if you want to see me do something like this again. I do like building these. I don't do it often. It's really tough to find the time. I also like to paint miniatures, if you guys are into that. I might do something like that. We're just trying to expand our horizons with this channel. Because not just doing Pokemon cards and Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Magic and Lorcana, and we started doing video games and then doing repair stuff, which is kind of cool. But then I have a lot of hobbies. While I was doing this, I was literally printing on my resin 3D printer my character for Dungeons and Dragons, because I started up a new campaign with a couple of friends. Which, yeah, I'm just really just rambling to fill time here, guys. Am I doing a good job? I hope I'm doing a good job. It's my first time doing this. But yeah, body is basically done. We are now putting the lower half of the body, the part that looks kind of like underwear, together. That's where the legs are going to, hook in, and, the waist point and all that. But yeah, there's like the whole body part done, and sorry, some Coca-Cola ended up in the shot there. Not sponsored or anything like that. I know Coke's not good for you, but guess what? I'm gonna drink it all the time because I'm addicted to caffeine and I like the taste of Coca-Cola. But I also like Pepsi. I am not against Pepsi either. I end up usually getting Pepsi every like couple weeks or so, just to be like, oh yeah, it's a little different, and then go back to Coca-Cola. But yeah, we're gonna just keep going with this build. I am looking at the shoulder pieces now, so we're getting ready to build the arms out. Once these arms are built out, it's basically just you build the same thing twice, which is really cool. And then there's all the hand pieces. You can kind of see them over on the left-hand side here, I believe. Because as I'm recording, this is actually flipped upside down, and I haven't flipped it yet. Should have flipped it, then recorded. But yeah, we got our shoulder pieces put together now, and we're getting ready to start to put the arms together. There's a couple parts where I just kind of get up and I think walked away, so the camera kind of stops. There's also points where the camera stops because I only record for 15 minutes at a time before I have to stop because I don't want to lose the recording or have it be too big to upload to my web server where then I download it. And that's just kind of, a little look into my process of how I do all these recordings. All right, here we are. We are actually moving into building the actual, biceps and triceps and the forearm and all of that of the arm. So this is where things are going to start to come together for the arms, and then they're going to look really cool once those are done. There's not a whole lot of polycaps, which is great. For those of you who don't know what polycaps are, it's like a piece of rubber almost, and it's like not great. They are usually like a pain in the butt to work with, and it's better if it's all just plastic for some reason. But it's supposed to give like joints more maneuverability and all that stuff. But a lot of these companies are starting to figure out how to do it with just plastic pieces to make it so much better, more articulate, and less frustrating because the polycaps just don't like to hold on to things and they pop out often, and it can be really annoying when you put something together and then like an arm falls off randomly because the polycap wasn't in properly, so it wasn't holding the arm properly. But yeah, here we go. We got the upper arm parts put together. That's like, I believe the lower parts sitting there, but they want like other pieces to those arms so that way they all fit together first. And I think there's a joint piece that still needs to be put in there. But yeah, here we are, just, getting these arms put together. Definitely getting them put together. I'm going to put a bunch of the hands together too because you can do different hand poses. And those always look really cool. When you pose Mega Man and then you do the hand poses, you can do like him charging up his arm cannon pose. You can do like I believe there's like a grabbing something, like a saber pose. That you can do with one of the hands. There's something else. I think there's just like an open hand, like just a regular relaxed open hand. But you could also like kind of put it up to make it like he's like saying "Stop in the name of the law" or something silly like that. Yeah, and then I believe, yep, we're almost done with the one of the arms there. Yep, there they are. They're both together now. Put the arms and hands out of the way. I just went with fists for now because, it's basic and might as well have fists because why not? Mega Man runs with his fists closed, and I figured I'd just start with the fists. So that means once we're done with those arms, we are moving on to the actual legs. The legs were not too bad to put together. They just require, same meticulous stuff, just following the numbers, put the things into the pegs, and put the clips and the claps, and the making, everything kind of put together and doing it basically twice. Because you have two legs, you have two arms. Or at least most people do. If you don't, whatever, that's cool. I'm sure you are super handy capable, and that is awesome. I'm hoping that, again, you guys are liking this. I keep saying it because I just don't know what to talk about too well. Again, this is my first time doing something like this. So I just figured I'd, go with it. Could have sped up this even more. This is like at 1,000 times speed right now. And then I rendered it out, put it in here. Now I'm recording the audio over it. This took like 3 hours to render out. This took like 5 hours, not 5 hours. It took like 3 or 4 hours also to like put together. And whilst I was doing that, I kept stopping to keep redoing my resin print of my character. His name is Rowan, if anyone cares. He is a thief. half-elf, rogue, or should I say, he's a rogue half-elf. But I'm deciding to try to make him kind of entertainery. So he's from the circus, and he has a flute that he's really good at playing. And I have a little quirk that he has, which is he thinks every day is kind of like a Groundhog Day situation. So at points, I just randomly am like, yeah, this thing happens, and I just kind of pretend like I guessed it right. Including like at the very beginning of our campaign, which nobody's picked up yet, and it's fantastic nobody's picked that up yet. But the the big chungus legs are coming together, and he needs those big meaty thighs because he's dashing around, man. You gotta dash around. You need that meat on them thighs to keep yourself from getting road burn from all the dashing. But the legs, they weren't too bad. There was actually a lot more pieces to the legs than I thought there was going to be for this one. Sometimes legs are really simple. Sometimes legs are complicated. I might have mentioned that earlier. I am speaking kind of fast. I don't know why I'm speaking fast. The video's going fast, but I don't need to speak fast. So I'm going to try to slow myself back down now. So here we are. We are working on, I believe, the upper part of the leg. And then eventually it goes to, the lower part of the leg, the feet. Wow, why am I explaining what a leg is like? You all know what legs are like. But yeah, these pieces, they all clip together, and then they got like those little trim, which is kind of cool. Also kind of a pain in the butt to get in properly. And I didn't do the best job at like nipping all the things from the spurs, so it didn't do spurs from the sprues. Spikes? Ropes? Yeah. Can't get it right. Anyway, I was using my nips from there, and sometimes I would get in really close, sometimes I just was lazy. So there's some gaps in some of it, and that's fine. I did consider repainting it, but I haven't done that yet. I always say that, and then I never do, because it's a big undertaking to repaint things, and sometimes you got to take it all apart and then remember how it goes back together again, because now you don't have your numbering system. And sometimes it's really, really tough to put together. But now we're putting together the feet. The feet were kind of cool. There's a lot of pieces that just kind of sit there, and then you clip something in, and everything just stays put, which is fantastic to see. You gotta love it when you put something in there and it just stays put and doesn't come out because you got it clipped in very well. So here we are making one of the feet. This is a lot more intricate than I thought it was going to be. There's like 5 pieces just of the foot. But now we're putting one of the legs together, and that's awesome. So now we're going to put the other one together now. Here we are putting the little bit of leg that's hidden underneath all that armor, because he's actually a really thin little boy. But he's got some big, beefy, bulky armor on him to protect him from when he's being attacked by the Mavericks, because he's a Maverick hunter. And this is where you have the armor, the rider armor, I think it is what it's called for this one. I don't remember. But you also have Zero's saber, which is awesome. So this is like Mega Man, like, I don't know, 5, I think, is when he used the saber. Mega Man X5. I don't honestly remember. It's been a while since I played those. I should play those. Let me know if you want me to play those on the channel. I'd love to play Mega Man X series again. Give me a good reason to play them. Do maybe a Let's Play. We're, considering doing more stuff on the channel, uploading maybe twice a week now. But I can't guarantee that yet. But we do want to ramp up things a little bit more. Working on a podcast. I think we've mentioned this multiple times before. We want to start doing some live streams every now and then. We just need to figure out the times. But here he is, Mega Man, all basically put together. Now we're just going to get his weapon effects put together. So his arm cannon, which kind of was a pain in the butt to put together. I think that's what I'm doing right now. So we're getting kind of close to the end of this video. There's a few more minutes, so stick around. Keep going. Got to put the full arm cannon together, which was actually really intricate. The saber was not intricate. It is literally like 2 pieces that just stick together and you're good, or 3 pieces maybe. But there is special hands for holding the saber, and the other hand comes out and you put the arm cannon on, and then I don't think there was a charge beam attack effect in this one, from what I remember. But there is other effects that you can have for like his little head crest and the fins. Some of them were like black or like a dark red, almost like see-through-y crystal, but it was like very dark red. It would look really cool if you could put some LEDs in him and light him up. But I think the regular orangey red that they have on him looks really good where it is. The other thing that I always found kind of interesting is Mega Man very much feels like his armor is inspired by like Vegeta. He's got similar color schemes to Vegeta's, and it looks very similar to Vegeta's. So I'm pretty sure it's supposed to basically be an ode to Akira Toriyama's Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z. So the arm cannon is almost all put together. I remember it being kind of a little bit of an annoyance. There's some like weirdness to it. You can see me kind of fighting with it there. And then we take the arm off, and then something happened where a piece of the arm wasn't supposed to come off there because of the polycaps. But then we put the arm in, and now he's got his arm cannon ready to go. Pew, pew, pew. And that's my awful impression of Mega Man's like power-up charging attacks sound effects. So now we're trying to find the other hands that I need to use for these like effects. I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. We'll see in a second here. But it looks like that's the saber. Yeah, that's the saber I'm putting together. So the saber was like that yellow piece. It was like a black piece and then a bottom little gem piece that went inside of it. And then you stick that through the hand. And then you put it all together, and then he's got a beam saber in his other hand. Stick around in a few minutes. You're going to get a better angle of him. Let me know if you like how I did the angle. It was a little weird. I recorded it a couple times. This is the one that I liked the most out of that. So here I am putting the saber hand in. Yep, so you just pop out the bottom, put that in, pop it back in. Now his stupid little V-fin keeps falling out on me and driving me insane. Kind of just had to like delicately put it in there. And it finally stayed together. So there I am posing him. And we're about to get to the very end here. So you're going to see that new angle any moment now. As I'm doing some minor cleanups, I'm just going to clean up the nubs. I like to take everything out and then throw the runners away. Because sometimes it's just nice to have those extra pieces in case you need them for another build or even this build. Sometimes they give you extra parts in case something breaks or you miss something. Something goes missing. But they also share runners sometimes between model kits. And there's pieces that don't get used from one. But, yep, here we are. So this is at, regular speed now. So that's probably jarring a little bit. But I'm just doing this weird little zoom in right into the arm cannon here. And then we're going to pull back. And then we're going to look at him from a lower angle. But I'll catch y'all next week. And have a good day. All right. Bye-bye.